Hey y'all, it's me again. Here another day. Mike is going to be out all week at the class, and then he starts at the school next week. So it's going to be me mostly, unless I wait until he gets off. So I hope you guys will stick with us and learn as much as I'm learning about doing this. Yesterday we talked about the words "but God," and I kind of wanted to keep on with that theme, but then I got to thinking maybe I need to do something different, and I've been praying, and the Lord laid in my heart just to keep moving with that. And the reason that I feel like He did that is because we were in the Old Testament yesterday, and today what I'm going to read is in the New Testament. So it's just showing how the Old Testament does connect with the New Testament, and it all does go together. It's not just a bunch of stories. That is prophecy fulfilled, and we need to understand that. Here we are, the first day of August. More of the year is behind us than ahead of us. It seems like time just speeds up and goes faster and faster. I hope that you're having a great day. It's really hot out again today, and stay hydrated if you're out working in it. I did have a quote that I wanted to share before I got started in my study this afternoon, because it hit me yesterday when I saw this. It says, "You can't give your life more time, so give the time you have left more life." We can't add a single minute to our days. We can't. But we can add more life in those minutes. And sometimes we get so caught up in the struggle and in the hardships and in the pain and the sorrow, the grief, the hurt, all of the things that are trying to hold us back. We forget to live our life. And we just are putting one foot in front of the other, trying to make it through another day, when that's not what God has for us. That's not the life that He promised us. He promised us a life filled with goodness and more abundance, and not abundance of things, but an abundance of life. And that's what He wants us to take advantage of, is to live our life. And whether that's changing a situation, or whether that's moving, whether that's whatever it may be, we need to be obedient to Him and live the life that He has for us. So in keeping with the "but God," I'm going to be in Acts 7, and it starts at 7:1. And this is Stephen addressing the council. And then the high priest asked Stephen, "Are these accusations true?" This was Stephen's reply: "Brothers and fathers, listen to me. Our glorious God appeared to our ancestor Abraham in Mesopotamia before he settled in Haran. God told him, 'Leave your native land and your relatives and come into the land that I will show you.' So Abraham left the land of the Chaldeans and lived in Haran until his father died. Then God brought him here to the land where you now live. But God gave him no inheritance here, not even 1 square foot of land. God did promise, however, that eventually the whole land would belong to Abraham and his descendants, even though he had no children yet." God was making a promise to him. He was prophesying into his life. He was giving something to him in the future, not immediately. And that's where we get caught up. We want immediate answers, and God doesn't always immediately answer. God also told him that his descendants would live in a foreign land where they would be oppressed as slaves for 400 years. "But I will punish the nation that enslaves them," God said. "And in the end, they will come out and worship me here in this place." God also gave Abraham the covenant of circumcision at that time. So when Abraham became the father of Isaac, he circumcised him on the 8th day. And the practice was continued when Isaac became the father of Jacob, and when Jacob became the father of the 12 patriarchs of the Israelite nation. These patriarchs were jealous of their brother Joseph, and they sold him to be a slave in Egypt. But God was with him and rescued him from all of his troubles, and God gave him favor before the Pharaoh, king of Egypt. God also gave Joseph unusual wisdom, so that Pharaoh appointed him governor over all of Egypt and put him in charge of the palace. But a famine came upon Egypt and Canaan. There was a great misery, and our ancestors ran out of food. Jacob heard that there was still grain in Egypt, so he sent his sons, our ancestors, to buy some. The second time they went, Joseph revealed his identities to his brother, and they were introduced to Pharaoh. Then Joseph sent for his father Jacob and all his relatives to come to Egypt, 75 persons in all. So Jacob went to Egypt. He died there as did our ancestors. Their bodies were taken to Shechem and buried in a tomb Abraham had bought for a certain price from Hamor's sons in Shechem. So again, but God. This shows again, Stephen is telling telling what God promised and how it came to fruition. Those patriarchs, those brothers, sold him, but God was with him and gave him favor with the Pharaoh, which in turn saved his family. How amazing is that? How amazing is it if we will just listen to God and be obedient to him, just like Jacob was. He was obedient. He followed what God told him to do. Abraham followed what God told him to do. Abraham, he promised him that he would have Isaac, and then he asked Abraham to take Isaac and put him on as a sacrifice. He was obedient even into that, and God provided a ram for a sacrifice. So when we are obedient, God is always going to provide the way that we need, just like he did here with Joseph, allowing him to have favor. That way it allowed Joseph to save his family. Sometimes we don't understand what God is calling us to do. And just because we mess up doesn't mean we've lost our calling. And so many times when somebody looks at your life and says, well, you did this or you did that, and they're trying to condemn you, you've got to stand firm in knowing that God has not removed that calling from your life. We can look at David and know that. David messed up a lot, but God did not remove his calling from him. He used him in mighty, mighty ways. So don't get frustrated with a situation. Don't get frustrated when you don't feel like God is hearing you. Don't get frustrated and don't give up. There's been 3 different quotes come across today about not quitting. I'm like, I hear you, God. I hear you. I hear you. I see you. Thank you. Thank you for putting those things before me. Because sometimes it's easier just to throw our hands up and say, I've been obedient to you. I've been following everything that you've asked me to do. I am the person that you have made me to be, but I still feel defeated. You don't know in that defeat that your next step is not the victory. And there are so many people watching you, waiting to see what you're going to do. There are people out there that are waiting for you to fail. There are always going to be those people that want to see you fail because it's you. You can't help that. But when you quit, then you let them see you fail. If you will stay the course and stay with God and keep trusting in him, even though you can't see any resolve to what you're going through right now, he has a resolve for you. If you'll stay obedient to him, just like Joseph did, just like Jacob did, just like Abraham did, if we will just stay obedient to him, listen to him, he has a perfect plan for us. And we don't want to be like Elijah and go in the cave. That cave was Elijah's escape, but that cave could have also been the end of a plan that God had put in place. But Elijah came out of that cave, thankfully, and God was able to continue that plan. Would the plan have still happened even if Elijah would have stayed in the cave? Yes, it would have. God would have made that plan work because God is faithful and God knows what he needs to happen and God sees what he needs to happen. And that's a lot of times God sees and hears things that we don't. So when he moves us or removes somebody from our life or removes a friend or removes a family member or removes whatever, God has seen and heard things that we haven't seen. So we need to trust him and we need to be obedient to him and say, okay, one more step. Today I'm going to take another step. Today I'm going to stand for what you have me to stand for. I'm going to be bold in my faith. I'm going to, proclaim your word and I'm going to do what you have me to do. And some days that's hard. And we just need to stay faithful to him and listen to what he has for us, because if we do that, our reward will be great. And it's not about the reward. It's just about serving him and the life that he has for us right now. It's not about what we're going to get when we get there. It's about living the life that he has for us right now, even in the extremely hard. he still has a good life for us, an abundant life for us if we'll just listen to him. So today, I hope that you have a great day. Tomorrow, we probably will be moving on to something else. I'm not sure. I'm, again, trying to be obedient to the Lord and listen to him and do as he would have me to do and bring forth the word that he would have me to bring forth. I'm not as knowledgeable as Pastor is, but I am speaking from my heart, and I know that the Lord is speaking through me. So I pray that you have a great day. Men, remember tonight you are meeting at 7 o'clock in the multipurpose building. Your men's meetings have been moved from Monday to Tuesday. That was the consensus of the group. So you will be meeting tonight. Women, we will have our meeting tomorrow morning at 10:30. I hope that you will come and enjoy the time that we will have. Hunter Irwin is going to be here with us on Sunday. He's coming in Saturday night. He will be with us Sunday morning. And then I believe we're going to do a concert Sunday evening as well. I'm not 100% positive about that because I haven't got to have a long conversation with Pastor, but we will get that figured out and I will let you guys know what we're going to do. So again, I hope you're having a good day. Stay cool. It is hot. Check on your neighbors, check on your pets, make sure they have good water, make sure they have shade, all of that. And make sure if you know somebody that doesn't have air conditioning, please go by and check on them. Make sure that they're okay. They need help as we all do need help sometimes. So I hope you're having a great day. I hope you'll come back and visit with me again tomorrow. Have a blessed day. I'll see you guys tomorrow.